My name is Andrea. I'm from Ireland and I've just spent the last 18 days here in Sedona, and I wanted to say a few words about my experience here and working with Clint Frakes. It's been a wonderful trip. If I give you a little bit more background, it will give you a bit more sense on the words that I'm going to say. As I said, I'm from Ireland. I live in the southwest of Ireland. I'm a therapist, I'm a pharmacist, and the modalities I work in are nutritional therapy, functional medicine. I work with high level athletes, and I use energy work in my practice as well. I live a very busy life, integrating both my clinic and occasional work as a pharmacist, and also I train about 6 days a week as a middle long distance triathlete. So life is very, very busy at home. I felt the draw many times to come to America, and I've had a fascination always with the ways and belief systems of the Native Americans. So for me, I found myself here in America several times, but I never found what the soul was searching for. This year I had the opportunity to come to Sedona. I had a conference in Phoenix, and I have a later training in Colorado for athletes, starting on Saturday actually. So in the gap I was gifted with 18 days, and I leapt at the chance to come here. I got on the internet, and at first hit I found Clint. It just felt right. I didn't question it. We made contact, and he told me that he would be able to help me on my journey. And because it felt right, I didn't question it. Now, Andrea normally is very science-brained. She will analyze everything. But there's also a side of me that when something feels right, I will follow that. It's the universe handing me a gift, and you honor that. And so I started to work with Clint. We scheduled regular chats on the phone. I would send updates on how I was doing. I would record my meditations. I sent Clint my blogs. Essentially, Clint got to know me in and out like no one else has seen. That side of me that's very spiritual, that's very connected with both the living and the other side. I do a lot of energy healing work with the land in Ireland. I'm attuned to plants and herbs and subtle energies. So it was quite an intimate experience sharing this with Clint, and one that could have left me feeling very vulnerable because it's an area that I have not felt that supported with at home. But that's been part of my journey. It's brought me to where I am, and to feel nurtured and nourished was a wonderful thing. So when I got to Sedona, it in ways was like meeting a friend, and I was made very welcome here. In hindsight, I would recommend giving yourself a couple of days to integrate into Sedona before starting on the work. That is a personal thing. I'm very sensitive to energy, and I arrived here during spring break, so there was a lot going on. So, if you are a sensitive being, you're highly empathic, I recommend giving yourself a little bit of time to attune into this place. That's just a little bit of advice. It didn't take from any of my experiences here. It just meant that I was feeling a little bit more while I was doing a lot of work. So I met Clint, and we got started into some incredible work. If I can remember all of it, I've done body work. He basically lined me up with a whole experience that was customed to my needs. In fact, he knew more about my needs than I knew about my needs. And I can say after the 18 days that something has really shifted within me. I feel ready to go home. I feel ready to give more. I've developed more boundaries. I've started to work on some of the walls that I had around myself with letting people in and seeing who I am. I was nurtured. I was allowed to just express myself. Clint didn't mind that at times I blabble on when I'm a little bit nervous or anxious or off the ground. I came here having not fully researched what I was getting myself into because I wanted to feel my way into things. I wanted to explore what the sacred sites, the work that Clint does, the spiritual nature of things, to understand more about his Lakota beliefs, and also my visit to Hopi. I wanted to do it through a feeling experience, to integrate it with all that I am, as opposed to read it out of a book and come in here to Sedona with the beliefs that everyone has about finding transformation and getting something from Sedona. I wanted to come here bringing myself on my journey, and to become at one with here, not expecting anything or hoping for anything or wanting to take from this place. And I set that intention in place when I met Clint. For me, the work started 3 months ago, and it accumulated here. And what happened here was far more than I had envisioned. Probably because I let go of the control. The highlights of my trip, honestly, the moments that really stand out to me are when I just got to spend time with Clint and Michelle doing more soul work and talking and feeling supported. And I guess you could call it therapy, but it very much felt like a mutual meeting of souls and minds, and I'm very grateful for that. My time with Alan when we visited Hopi is precious to me. The experiences that I got, I got to visit the Prophecy Stone. I got to see home in the reserves. We visited the petroglyphs. I'm never good at pronunciations. But what I'll remember is when we sat down and shared food together. That's where we opened up to one another and we chatted more, and I got to feel real people, real talk, real experiences, are traveling around from venue to venue where Alan and Clint would chat away and I could add in the odd question. Just experiencing that. In fact, I wish that I got over my anxieties faster to just listen more sometimes, because those were the precious moments for me. The visit to Hopi, yes, that's one that's memorable to me. It felt like a gift, and I'm not going to remember that. It's a part of my heart, and the work that Alan did with me, I'm truly, truly honoured and grateful for that. I'm not going to go into depth with explaining it, because it's an experience, and experiences are unique to people. So if you do this trip, it's going to be different for you. But I highly recommend doing it. Clint and I spent a lot of time working in silence with plants, in ceremonies, where Clint would encourage me to let go of my junk and embracing who I am. I've been on the verge of that cliff for quite some time, and I was given the nurturing and the nourishment and the guidance and his insight and wisdom to do this. So for me, Medicine Wheel was truly profound. Visiting the well at Montezuma, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, was incredibly profound. Spending time at the river by Oak Creek in mutual prayer and gratitude, that was profound for me too, where I got to really see and experience the gratitude and humility and the Lakota ways, and for me to do it my way, but learning more from what I experienced here. I'm on a journey now when I go home, and Sedona is part of my heart, and spending the time here is something that has been truly profound and meaningful to me, and I feel I made friends here. I was never treated as someone who came in and was just paying money. In fact, Clint has given me above and beyond. So if I put it on paper before I arrived here, it seemed like a considerable investment. It felt right. I honoured it. And now you can't put a value on the work that Clint did with me, the experience that was provided to me and tailored for me and my needs based on Clint. Truly understanding who I am. I will be back. I will maintain contact with everyone that I've met, the wonderful therapists that Clint lined up to work with me. And the word therapist can make it sound like I came here as a broken person. No, I came here on a journey and an exploration, and I know that the therapists that worked with me were the very best that Sedona has, and the very best that I've ever worked with, and met worldwide. Very humble, centered, gifted, talented people. And it seems that the network grew because I got to meet even more people. I went to visit an exceptional aromatherapy company called Phoebe Aromatics, and it was through knowing Clint and Michelle that so much more opened up. So I'm rambling on. I have not been asked to do this blog. Or talk. I wanted to write some words, but the Wi-Fi here has been a bit overwhelmed with so many people. So it just felt right to say it. To reach out, and if you're truly looking to go within, if you have no expectation on other people to fix you or heal you or enlighten you, because that's never going to happen. It comes from within. But if you come here to Sedona, it creates the place and the template for all that you desire to unfold. Just honor it. If it feels right, do it. Don't worry about money or issues like that. It all makes sense in the bigger picture, and Clint will tailor things to your needs. My experience is going to be very different to what you come here to experience. Clint knows the land. He knows the plants. He knows the history. He knows the culture. He is going to show you the true, real, authentic Sedona, and that's what I came here to experience. And I know I experienced it because it's in an energy, and I'm sensitive to that. So I'm going to feel whether I'm being fed bullshit or whether I'm experiencing something that's real and led from heart and with the purest of intention. And that's Clint's message. He wanted me to experience that because it is in his heart. He's coming from heart, and he wants people to experience that feeling and authenticity and specialness and sacredness around Sedona, and it's something that should be honored. It's a very special energy here. It should be treated with respect. You should be prepared to come here in gratitude and being humble about the experience, not expecting to take something, because we all bring in our stuff with us, and it's important to acknowledge that balance of give and receive. For me, though, I will be back, and I want to come back, and I've said so many thanks for my experience. So that's just a few words that I wanted to say. And to Clint and Michelle and his team, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It's just made sense of the whole journey for me, and I hope to honor the work that you've done with me and bring myself back home more complete, more confident, more humble, more grateful on the journey. Thank you.